One Piece Season 2 will not be returning until 2025. Despite its Season 2 renewal confirmation coming a mere 15 days after its debut on August 31st, it will be a long wait for fans until Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates return. But hey, if Luffy is patiently waiting to get his hands on the One Piece, we too can wait for Season 2, which Sanji actor Taz Skylar hints will begin filming soon. The show's speedy renewal is unsurprising given the first season ended up breaking a record set by the first seasons of Stranger Things and Wednesday, as it ranked as the most watched show in 84 countries on its first weekend. After all, the show did an exceptional job of capturing the spirit of the anime. Its joyous take on Luffy's adventure is throwback to the days of Saturday morning TV, as it injects you with kid-like excitement that works on multiple levels, making it appealing to all. So, what details do we have about Season 2? Here's everything you need to know. One Piece Season 2 potential release date. When can we expect One Piece Season 2? As mentioned, One Piece Season 2 won't be hitting the streaming service until 2025. The news came via Deadline, who reported that it, along with several other highly anticipated shows, would not be returning in 2024. In more disappointing news, Skylar has confirmed that filming hasn't even started yet, but he does promise fans are in for an exciting ride. Skylar told exclusively that the stories for Season 2 are really cool, adding, "I love the way that they're adapting it. I love what they're doing with each one of our characters. We all as a cast, as a team, as a crew, we are so excited to get back together because the first time was such a great experience and we made so many great friends. And we love South Africa, so we all can't wait to go back there this year and hopefully knock it out of the park again." While the show isn't in production just yet, Skylar did mention that it wouldn't be too long until filming started up again. "I know they're working on it," he said. "I know we have general dates so as to when we are going back to South Africa, which isn't too long from now." The streamer's previous announcement of a new adaptation from the One Piece manga may have caused some confusion amongst the live-action fans, especially as it has been similarly titled The One Piece, but rest assured, this is not the world's speediest reboot. It is instead a remake of the still airing, original animated show. During an interview with Variety, One Piece co-showrunners Stephen Mita and Matt Owens said they would definitely taking one step at a time, adding that the decades of One Piece material Oda-san has given them to work with leads to so many possibilities and endless permutations. Fans may have been warned to measure their expectations around release schedules, but with filming beginning in the very near future, we're requesting permission to get a little excited. One Piece Season 2 cast, who's coming back for One Piece Season 2? With One Piece now renewed for a second season, we're confident we can say that the Straw Hat Pirates will be back, so that means the return of the following: Inaki Godoy as Monkey D. Luffy, Emily Rudd as Nami, Makaniu as Roronoa Zoro, Jacob Romero as Usopp, Taz Skylar as Sanji. However, who would the king of the pirates be without a few enemies? Following their first season adventures, Luffy and his crew have racked up quite a few. While they may have defeated their foes, there's nothing to say they couldn't crop up again in Season 2 with a taste for revenge. As such, we could see the Straw Hats going to toe-to-toe with the likes of Captain Alvida, Buggy the Clown, Clayhador, Kuro, Arlong. Arlong's possible return is a little more complicated though, considering in the manga he doesn't return after his defeat by Luffy, though we do know he survived. However, the show may choose to switch things up. McKinley's performance was alluring, just the kind of villain we'd love to see again. The Marines will naturally continue to be a thorn in Luffy's side, as such Vincent Regan's Grandpa Garp, sorry we mean Vice Admiral Garp. He will have to return along with Morgan Davies Kobe and Aiden Scott as Helmeppo. It's likely a whole new host of friends and foes will join the cast, especially given that Luffy's crew is set to grow in numbers. However, they will have to fit a very specific, spirited brief. The show's director, Mark Jobst, previously spoke about the tricky process of finding actors who could capture the spirit of such iconic animated characters. One of the things that we did in casting is, we were very clear that we wanted to cast actors who could act and do all these emotional scenes, he said. But as importantly, and very unusually in shows, we're very physical and athletic. Because of the way that I wanted to shoot some of the special skills, and because of the way I wanted to shoot the action, I needed them to be at the center of the heart of all these stunt sequences and these special effect sequences. One Piece Season 2 episodes. How many episodes in One Piece Season 2? We would assume the second season would consist of at least 8 episodes like the first season. The first season barely scratched the surface of the first season of the anime show, which had a whopping 61 episodes. It's possible Netflix might make up for that with the second season rounding it out to an even 10 following the success of the first, as there's certainly enough material to. One Piece Season 2 plot. What will happen in One Piece Season 2? Onwards and forwards to the Grand Line would be our guess. With 1,000 plus episodes underneath its belt, the One Piece anime collection is bubbling with storylines for the live action to draw from. Over the course of the animation, Luffy's crew grew to include the following members: Tony Chopper, Nico Robin, Frankie, Brooke, Jinbei, Nefertari Vivi, which could mean new faces will join the adventure in Season 2. However, former enemies are sure to make their presence felt much more strongly the second time around. In the Season 1 finale, Luffy made the most wanted posters, boasting an impressive 30 million berries bounty for his capture. Naturally, Buggy, boiling with jealousy, vowed to kill Luffy, which piqued the interest of Captain Abita, who was in earshot of his murderous declaration. It's possible a team-up could be on the cards. Then again, these two don't strike us as the working together types, so who knows. The biggest story to kick off Season 2 will probably be centered around newcomer Smoker. Though we only saw the back of his profile in the Season 1 cliffhanger, we're almost certain he was the individual burning a hole into Luffy's most wanted poster with his cigar. His white hair and signature 2 cigars in one hand are the clue on which we base our findings. If this is the case, it will be, Luffy will face some problems, as the Marine Vice Admiral has made it his mission to capture Luffy. And to that, we say, good luck. One Piece Season 2 trailer. Any One Piece Season 2 footage yet? We can't even think about a trailer until One Piece Season 2 begins production. But we'll keep you in the loop the minute we hear some news. But if you just need some extra One Piece content, we've got just the thing for you. Where can I watch the One Piece anime? No doubt the One Piece live-action series has you as eager as Luffy at a buffet for more. However, since Season 2 is a long way away, you might be wondering if it's time to turn your attention to the anime. Its collection of over 1,000 episodes would definitely fill up the time during the show's hiatus period. If you're sold on giving the anime a go, all episodes are available to watch right now on Crunchyroll. The streaming service can be accessed through the likes of Google TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV Stick, and Android TV devices. A basic Crunchyroll membership is free, giving you limited access to their library of shows, including One Piece with adverts. There are also 2 premium tiers available, with the fan tier letting you watch new shows without adverts only an hour after they air in Japan, while the mega fan tier allowing you to download shows to watch offline. Both premium tiers come with a 14-day free trial, and subscribers can save 16% by paying upfront for a 12-month subscription to Crunchyroll for £59.99. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.